Hello there, welcome to another video of SwiftKit. In this video, we're going to take a look about game development. We are going to make a space shooter game. What we expect at the end of this video is a space shooter which shoots to the enemy body. If the enemy gets in contact with our play body, the game ends, and this is how it looks. When we click the play button, the game starts and we try to shoot to the enemy. And when we shoot to the enemy body, the point gets counted automatically. And if it's in contact with our body, the game will end. This is how it works. So let's start doing it. This game is developed for iPhone, so you need to have a Mac machine and Xcode ready. So I'm searching for my Xcode right. Here I'm going to create a new Xcode project. And it'll be asking for the templates to choose. It'll be app or document app or argument reality. Here I'm going to choose here game. Click next. And I'm going to name this game as Space Shooter. And organization identifier language will be Swift, and the technology which I'm going to use here is the SpriteKit. So I just select the game technology as SpriteKit. Click next. And it's asking for where you need to save this project. I'm going to save in my iOS projects folder. You can create wherever you like. And first of all, what you see inside that when you create a game is there will be a default some game scene, and there will be some codes inside the game view controller as well. And so what you need to do from here is let's run and check what it does, to be honest. So let's run this. It's running in my simulator right now. As the first launch, you can see that letter like hello world, and if you try to do something else inside, there will be something animation happens inside. So we're gonna remove all these stuffs, and we will start everything from scratch. So let's start doing it. Let's move into the game scene.zip file, see what's there inside. It's having some SK notes and labels in order to make that animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this all from here, and we will do everything as per our requirements. Then we will go to our SKs file in order to check what's there inside as well. So let's go inside this game scene.sk's. Here we can see a label which is having hello world. So I'm just going to click that and delete the video. I'm going to use that hello world, otherwise it will be there when we develop the game. And head over back to the game view controller. It's showing that when the game starts, you need to go inside this game scene. That's where it's going inside. So we will be doing inside this game scene.sk's, which is having the game scene.zip file from here. First of all, what you need to do is I'm going to do some declaration which we need about the game objects. They're like a player, projectile, enemy, and the stars which we going to do it inside. So we will start from there. So let's say let war player, it's nothing but our player body, which means the space shooter from outside. So it will be of SK SpriteKit node, and then having the war, which is for the projectile. You may be wondering what is projectile. Projectile is nothing but you see in the game we try to shoot to the enemy, so there will be a bullet like going inside towards the enemy, So that's what we call it as projectile. And then let's create the enemy. War enemy will be equal to sk sprite node. And the last one is a star, which means it's a space, so there will be stars as well. If you want to create a moon by yourself, you can do whatever, doesn't matter. So let's start doing the score label, which is for when the user plays the game, we need to show the scores updated automatically. So that's a score label, and there will be a main label. Main label is nothing for in order to show to the user that the game have started, that the game over, finished, or whatever. So that's for the main label. Then having the var player size, which is the size which we gonna check for the player, will be of CG size. And so having the width and set the width, it'll be of 140 and width, so be 140 height and width. And then having the var with the project tile size, so it's project tile size will be equal to same like a CG size, with having the width and the height with, let's say, 24, and then var enemy size will be of CG size, and let's set the width and the height the same as like a player body, so it will be 140 each for the height and width. And then we have the another body is nothing but a star size. Actually I'll be setting the star size when we initiate, so let us say star size will be of CG size, and we will declare when we start the stars. Alright, then having the var of black color will be equal to the UI color, and the color which I'm going to do for RGB, so let's say 0.2 and 0.2. Blue will be of 0.2 and the alpha content will be 1. Let it be. And our var, which is having for the white color, actually you may be wondering what is for the black color and the white color. Actually nothing but we are going to set the screen as a black background, so that's why it's a black. And for the white, I would say it's for the stars probably. And the red, you could say like 0.95, 0.95, 95, and the alpha content will be of 1. And then I'm going to set var orange custom color. This maybe we can set it for when the body collides, there will be a spark or splash. So in order to give a spark, or it needs a fire color, I just give the color as an orange. So your color dot orange, let it be like this, and if we need we will change later. Then we are going to declare for the projectile rate, which is nothing but it's for the rate of in order to declare the rate and the speed corresponding to play towards the body. So let's say 0.2 and the var, which is having the projectile speed will be of equal to 0.9. This is the speed which is going to move towards our body, player body, when we see on the scene. Let's say that enemy speed of will be, which means the enemy have a specific speed towards, so we're just declaring the speed there, and enemy spawn rate as well. This is for the declare this speed, and the rate will be of 0.6, and then I have our speed or rate, and we need I'm going to declare whether our body is alive or not. It's alive is nothing but for if while playing the game and if the body collides, I want to set this alive is to be false, and when we start the game it will be always in true. That's why is alive is true at this stage. When the body collides it will be of false. So in the war score is when the game starts, I need to initiate the game as 0, score as 0 me, and then I'm going to declare the war location will be of CG5. Actually this is for our declaration for the particular point in order to declare the touch and all. So and the last one the declaration is be of physical category. So let's say physics category, and and it will be like a static. Let player will be of u and 32, and it will be of 0. Then static let projectile, and it will be of u and 32 will be of 1, and static let enemy, and it will be of u and 32, and let me see 2. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some assets inside this. I have assets prepared already, so I'm just going to simply drag inside this. Actually I have provided this assets in the video description. You can check in the video description and simply download that, and you can also make use of this. It's nothing but 3 assets, which is an enemy, projectile, and the spaceship. Alright, so let's head over back to the game scene.zip file, and what I'm going to do here is inside that game scene, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to do here a delegate, which is for the physical contacts, because we need to use the physical contacts inside this. It's nothing but when the bodies get in contact with each other, we need to set a delegate so that it will know by its own. So it's a physical contact delegate method, and inside this is override did move. If you have developed with iOS mobile phone, you'll be knowing like a did load or something like that. So in this case we are going to do did move, so that if it's in the when the app is initiated, it will be calling inside this. So let's say the self dot background color, actually I'm setting the background color here which is of a black color, and then I'm going to declare here as a physical bolt dot contact delegate, will be of self as well. Alright, and then let's make some space over here. I'm going to declare some of the functions which is required. First of all, I'm going to make here is the lead player, which means the player which we're going to control out by outside. So it's function like a lead player, and the player is from us, and it will be our SK sprite node. And I'm going to write here as an image named, and let's say that as a ship. Actually we just drag the images of here. This is a ship. Actually we have the player image name as ship. Okay, and then I'm going to do the next is player dot size, and it will be of player size, and then I have the player dot position will be equal to the CG point, and I'm going to do X, and the Y which is for the self dot frame dot mid X, and the Y will be of self dot frame dot min width Y, Actually, we are setting the positions of our position of the player when the game gets started. So I needed the player to be in the bottom, and the Y should be of 200, which means that the spaceship will be just beneath the screen and a little bit up. And then I have this player dot physical body will be equal to SK physics body, and it will be of rectangle of player dot size. Actually, here the position we have the CG point as mid X and Y of Y. Its mid X is nothing but I want to set in the middle of the screen in the body when the player when the game starts actually, and that's why it's written like that. And the player dot physical body, and it will be I need to add some of the effects. It is affected gravity. Let it say like a false and player dot physics body. This is for the category bit task, and it will be of physics category dot player. We will discuss about this later on, and first of all we will initiate this, and then we have the physics body dot contact test bit will be equal to the physics category dot enemy, and then player dot physics body dot allows rotation. We don't going to do any rotation, so let it say like false. It's a bow, and then we have a player dot physics body with dynamic. Is dynamic. It's not dynamic because it's we are controlling by from our end. The name will be equal to player name. This is actually we declaring the name. What's the name? We can name what we like, but I'm naming here as a player name. So self dot add child at the end will be of player, so that we are adding that player inside the body, inside the screen I mean. So that's from the lead player. Then I'm going to write a function which is for reset the game variables on start. First of all, when the game starts, I need to reset some of the variables. So let's say reset game variable on start. Actually, what it does is when the game starts, I need to show the score as 0, and also if the body is alive, as I said. If it's collides, it will be false. If it's not, it will be true. So when the game starts, I want these two of them to be initiated, so that's why it's did. And what I'm going to do here is, first of all, when the did move, we need to declare this reset game variable and lead player as well. Alright, so this is the first part, and the next thing we are going to do is let's look on the touch begins. So here we have already there touch begin, touch down, move up. So I'm going to use here the touch began option, which is for the touches when it recognizes. So let's say touch in touches, and what you need to do is touch location, which we declared at first. Location will be equal to the touch dot location inside the player actually, and then I need move player on touch. Actually, we will write move player on touch from here. Let's say func move the player on touch. What it does is the player dot position will be equal to sorry, dot x. Actually I need to set x, otherwise it will be moving wherever you touch inside the screen. So I just want to be inside the bottom. So let's say touch location dot x will be of x kind. I need to move the particular x point. That's why it's written like this. And then I need to write this move player on touch, which means on the touch begins it will start moving according to the positions as per. So moving x will be of equal to x. We will check this later, and so let's head over to other things like location in node. It will be of player. We will check this later on, and we will come back to another functions, which is for the func, which is for lead. uh, let's say the projectile. It's actually the tiles. When the game starts, is automatically triggers the tile, which means the bullets, I mean, towards the enemy. That's what it's projectile. So this is a projectile will be equal to sk sprite node, and it's of image named, let's say, project child. Sorry, it's an image we have here, like projectile. So I'm just using this image name over here. It's a capital LT, so just replace that. Alright, then we do have the projectile dot size will be equal to the projectile size, will be equal to the projectile size, and then I do have the projectile dot position will be equal to cg float, and then we have this x and y, which having the player position, and so it will be of player dot position dot x, and for the y it will be of a player dot position dot y. And what I need next is I'm going to do next is I'm going to copy this all which I declare here, like a physical body, all these things, and paste over here, and just rename those as projectile, and what it does is player dot size, position, everything else, and then uh, here will be of projectile as well, and the player name I'm going to change it as player child name, and then and to add one more line here, this is projectile dot is position will be equal to -1, and then I'm going to add this self dot add. Okay, that's written, and move object, I need to add one more line over here, Let's take a look about what's showing the error cannot assign the value of CG point to CG float. Or maybe I declare here as a CG float instead of CG point. Let's change that. It's of CG point, to be honest. Alright, so I think the arrow should disappear from here, and this is for also CG point. Yes, right. Here we go. The arrow got disappeared. Actually, it's not in CG float. It should be in a CG point. And then what touches began. Let's copy this. Its touches began, and when the touches is moved, here should be like this. Now it's ready. Actually, when the touch is happening and when it's moved, I need to call the player move on touch. So move on touch will be of X position, right? Yes, perfect. Then we will continue with the rest of the coding. Then we need to declare the move project file tile on the top, which is nothing but it's a shooter game. When the player moves, there will be of tile, which means the bullets going towards the enemy. So that's why it's called as move projectile to on top. So next I'm going to write here as a func project move projectile to top. Here what it does is it will move the project on the top, and I need to add this inside lead projectile. Let's copy this lead projectile. I'm going to paste over here. Alright, perfect. And then what's inside this is let move forward will be of sk action, and I'm going to declare here that as sk action dot move to the direction. So let's say move. I'm going to use not the X for the Y. Let's just say 600, which means towards the body 600, and it will be of a projectile speed. That's it. Speed we declare at the first. You can change the speed if you want to reduce. I just kept it like that. You can change the value whatsoever. So let's say let's destroy, which means after a particular point I don't want this projectile to go ahead, so I just going to make it remove from the super view. Let's say remove from parent, and actually this will be disappeared when it reaches the start game main label. So that's how it's set at the moment. So projectile dot run will be of sk action, and will be of sequence, and let's say move forward, and another thing is destroy. Sequence destroy cannot convert sk action to this. Oh, this should be in an array actually. Now it should go, and then what I'm going to do here is next I'm going to declare the enemy. Let's say spawn enemy. You can name a function different names, doesn't matter. Let's say the enemy will be of SpriteKit, all the things. Actually what I'm going to do is in order to save time, I'm just copying this all and just rename as all. Let's say here instead of the player I'm going to name it as enemy. Copy this and insist everywhere the replace with the players. Right, and one more thing is it's of enemy dot size, enemy, and spawn enemy. This will be of contact, will be of projectile, false true, and dynamic. It's true actually, because it moves by itself. It's not static, to be honest. Enemy size, and the name which we name here, the image name is enemy. If we go and check, double check that it's the enemy name here for the image, so just set it as enemy, and here also you need to change that as enemy. It's adding the child at the end, and I'm going to name this as well as name. The body of the name will be enemy name, and yeah, this is how it will be. And let's have a check of this as well, this leading the projectile. Let's make it projectile size, player dot size, projectile. It should be of projectile actually, and we should contact with the enemy, and is dynamic is said to be true because it's not static at all. False, everything else projectile name -1. Okay, that's it. And next thing is I'm going to add another few more stuffs which is for the random movements. So let's say function and random between numbers, and it will be of first number, and it will be of CG float, and the second number will be of CG float, and then I have the CG float, and then I need to return that as a random. So let's say CG float of ARC for random. It will be of CG float, and UINT int of 32-bit maximum, right? And then I'm going to do is ABS for first number, second num plus minimum of first num and second num. Alright, let's check whether it's right or not. CG float of ARM random, okay, and it should close here. Then it's having the CG float with unit maximum cross ABS plus minimum. There is something wrong. Here I made 1 comma extra. If I remove that, the arrow should go on, and then what I'm going to do is I need to write a function which is for move enemy to the float. Move enemy to float. So let it select let move to will be of sk action, and it will be moving to move to the y direction by 600, and duration of enemy speed, and and the line is to destroy that. Let destroy will be equal to xk action dot remove from parent. Let enemy dot run, and inside the run will be of xk action dot sequence. The actions will be of move to and destroy. So move to comma destroy. Alright, and this is for the move action, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the positions from here, and let it say let x position will be equal to random position between the numbers. First number will be 0 and second will be of the frame of width. It's actually nothing but we are setting a dynamic auto random coming inside the screen, which means like it will be continuously coming the enemies from the top, and I just set the positions from the x and the width according to the width of the screen. Next is enemy dot position will be equal to cg point, and it will be of x and y, and for the x it will be of x position minus 500, and the y will be of self dot width, self dot frame dot size dot height divided by 2. Alright, so that's for the spawn enemy, and we are already done with the spawn enemies to set, or with the positions and all the things. Then what to do next is, now what I'm going to do here is I just want to add this function inside our spawn enemy. Alright, move enemy to flow. Alright, so it's the enemy speed. It's nothing but the randomly the enemies will be appearing inside the screen. That's what it happens here. Okay, so and the next thing what I'm going to do here is, let's do one guy. The last guy is the spawn stars actually. So let's declare the spawn star. Let's say s spawn stars, and here what I'm going to do is going to write let random size of int ar for random random underscore uniform. So it's upper bound of 12 plus it's a small stars which will appear. I just want small stars to appear inside. That's declared here, and then star size will be equal to cg size, and inside that the width and height I'm going to set that as a random size, and the height let it be of as a random size, which means 12 of 12. And then what I'm going to do is star will be equal to sk sprite node, and of image named we will name this image later on. Let's head over to other stuffs. Stars dot size will be of equal to the star size, and then let x position will be equal to the random. I need to bring this as a random, so let's say random between numbers, or first number and the last number. It'll be a second will be of a frame dot width, which means the frame from which it starts, and then that the star position dot position will be equal to CG point, and from here what I'm going to do is X position and the width, it should be of X, and the CG float inside this, it will be X and Y, X on Y, X position minus 500, and Y will be of self dot frame dot size. A little bit confusing, right? Height divided by 2. Yep. And then I'm going to write a self dot add the child to the star as well, star, and I want the star to move. So this is just appearance, and in order to move we need to write separate function stars move, and it will be off. This need to be inside this. All right. Okay. Then in order to move the stars, let's say random time will be equal to int of ar random uniform of 10, and let double the random time of double equal to double, and this is for actually the random time. Yet random time divided by 10 plus 1, it will be continuously moving. That's how it works. Yeah, this should be, and then let move to, it will be of xk action dot move to, I need to bring here the y, the y will be of minus 600 off the screen, and this will be of double random time, and then let destroy will be of equal sk action dot remove from bread, and the star dot run will be of xk action dot sequence of the sequence will be of move to and destroy, move to comma destroy. Yep, that's for the stars move. And next what I need is for spawn label and the score label. Let's do the function for spawn label and the main label. So start with the main label. It's a label which is for showing the game start, and when the game is over it will show that game is over. That's what it's named for. And phone named, you can give whatsoever you want the phone to be like. I just give like a for Fedora. Then main label dot phone size will be equal to, let's say, 80. So it's showing something wrong, incorrect font Hint. Replace the phone name with image named. SK node, sprite node, its phone name. We'll check that later. Font size, this main label dot phone color. It should be of a SK label node, right? It's not the normal, and the error should disappear at this moment. Font color will be of equal to of white color. Cannot assign SK label node to SpriteKit. It should be SK label node. This is also should be SK label node, not the sprite node. Alright, let's get over back to the where we are. Font color, then we need to inject for the main label. Dot the position will be equal to CG point of x and y, which I need to set as a self dot frame. I want to set in the middle of the, so let's say mid x, and for the y, let it say self dot frame dot mid y, and from the screen it will be of 600, let it say, and main label dot text will be equal to start start, and then self dot add child will be of main label. Now I'm going to add a function for the score label. Let's say function which is for the spawn score label, and it's of a label kind. Just copy this all, and it's an easy way. Yeah, paste it, and it will be of a score label. And you need to change the font, and everything else will be the same. Let's use this font size to say 60, and the color will be white, and from here it's of mid X and it should be in the mid Y. It should be minimum Y plus 80 from the bottom, mid X, and then I just need to change here a little bit. Let's say score, and then it will be of score inside this. Alright, so that's here. Copy this, paste it over here. I think everything is done here. So that's a mid X, mid Y. It should be in the minimum Y, it should be at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, we are almost halfway done at this time. Let's add some more functions and we will try to run. Alright, so another thing is function which is for the fire tile. And this is for actually the timer, in order to set the continuous way that bullets, which means from outside it will be firing always. So this is for the projectile rate, and let spawn will be equal to xk action dot run, and inside the run, let's say self dot lead projectile. Yeah, and then I'm going to write the sequence, which is for let sequence will be equal to sk action, and this is for, let's say, for which this is for the sequence actually, sequence, and this will be of wait and spawn right sequence. sk action cannot be mutated, should be timer the spawn, and it will be self dot run. Thus the action which we need is like a sk action dot repeat forever, which means until the game ends it will be firing always. That's what it means. Sequence. Then I'm going to write it's a set of functions which is for timers, for timer. So the en spawn enemies, and then let's say let wait will be equal to sk action dot wait for duration, let's say enemy spawn rate. Then let spawn will be equal to sk action dot run. Inside that self dot spawn enemy, and then I'm going to write let sequence. This is like the same over here. Need to change the weight. Yeah, this is actually, you may be wondering what's happening here inside. It's nothing but the projectile, which means the bullets which we are sending towards to the enemy. It'll be of timer kind, and I need to run it and repeat that forever until the game ends. And then I have the spawn timer enemy, which means the enemies I need to bring it continuously. That's the functions which I have written at the moment, and I need another as well. This is for the timer star, which is for the star spawn, and this is for the stars, which means stars I need to appear on the floor continuously. That's why it's for the stars, and it will be of same like let's wait is equal to the same thing I need to bring over here, but the thing over here change is it's for wait for duration, let us say 0.2, and then let spawn will be equal to sk action dot 1, and I want to bring, actually I want the stars to appear only if it is alive. If it is not alive, I don't want to show the stars there, so that the user will know that there is something wrong happened while playing the game. If the game stops, I don't want to bring the stars, so that's why let's change like itself, but the enemies will be continuously coming there. So let's self dot stars these. Right, and the final step is let sequence and it copy this and paste it over here. That sequence will be action, which is of wait, spawn, and all this. Alright, actually this what happening here is projectile. I need to show it continuously. It's triggering, and from the enemies also it should continuously appear on the floor, and the timer which is for the stars if the game is stops, which means if the enemy comes in contact with our body, actually the stars won't appear, but the enemies will be still coming on. So it's a timer like sequence, and it is a continuous process until the game ends. So that's it in this side. Then we will have a look about the another one is which is we need to declare when the body is in contact with each other. So in order to do that, let's make some space over here. Next I'm going to do is a function did begin with the contact. Escape physical contact, and let first name will be of contact dot body A, and second will be of second name wants to be of contact with the body B. So let's do that. If it's actually much complicated, you need to do it very carefully. So first of all, what you can do is first name, there's the E missing over here, so let's say first name, let's say first let's make this as a first body, and the second body name will be confusing. Actually it can be of any name, but it's a body logic. So first body dot category bit mask will be equal to the physics category with the enemy. If the enemy body comes in, and then I have the second body, this is second body dot category bit mask equal to physics category dot projectile. This is the triggering thing which we sent continuously from the our object. Then I have or is nothing but we need to check on the sides. Then comes first body dot category bit mask is equal to the physics category dot projectile, and second body dot category bit mask equal to physics category dot enemy. And then I'm going to build over here is what the action which I need to do here is I'm going to spawn an explosion over here, right? And that's the thing. I'm going to write it inside. Before that I want to copy this and paste it over here. This is for the second case. Actually what happening here is if the enemy and the projectile comes in contact here, or if the projectile or the enemy comes in contact, on both cases what should happen here is the action, it's an explosion will be happening over here. And the other case is if the enemy comes in contact with the player, game should end, that's why. And same here, like if the player comes in contact with the enemy, here the game ends. That's a two thing which we going to write over here. Before that I'm going to add one more function which for the enemy projectile collision. So let's say enemy project child collision with the body of contact A is of SK Sprite node, and contact section B will be of SK Sprite node, and this should be of contact B. Inside this, what I'm going to do here is if contact A dot name, here I'm declaring if the name is the enemy name, and second body will be of contact B dot name will, if it's checking whether these names are right or not. So it's of a project child name. Then what should happen? So I'm going to here a score. I'm going to increment the score from 0 to 1, 1 to 2. So let's say it's +1, always +1, which means when the enemy gets in touch with the projectile name, which means I have declared the projectile name, it should be N. Check here with what's the name given here. You need to check that enemy name project name. It's a player, not pro. Here, and let's check with the enemy name as well. Here we have declared the name here inside the enemy, and we have declared the name inside the projectile as well. So what should happen here is when contact A and contact B gets in touch, the score should go up, and then going to write here destroy the target. I want to destroy the target. So let's say destroy will be equal to sk action dot remove from parent. And what happened here is contact A dot run sk action dot sequence of destroy. I want to destroy the contact A body from the screen, and contact B dot remove from parent view. And last, I need to update the score and show. I need to write a function for the update. We'll write that. This is for the enemy projectile collision. And the other case is I'm just copying it over and paste over here. If the contact name dot name is equal to the projectile name, there's a function. Actually, you need to check with the contact A and B. Also, want to do one more thing as so from here what it does is when the enemies, which means the enemy body gets in contact with the projectile name, I need to update the score. In order to do that, I'm going to write a function which is for the update score, and that is for the score label. Let's say score label dot text will be equal to score and this will be of the score. It will be incrementing. Alright, and I should bring this inside this update score inside this when it comes in collision. So let's copy this and paste it over here as well. So what happened here is when the two bodies, which means the projectile, the triggering comes in contact with the enemy body, this enemy will disappear, and I want to update the score label as well. And from here, what it does here is I need to initiate this the enemy collision as well. It's a enemy project collision. The contact name here is nothing but the first body dot node as sk sprite node, and the second body is nothing but the body which is from the second side, whatever will be node as sk sprite node. Right, here we go. Yeah. Now we have just done for the enemy projectile collision here, and this is for actually when the enemy and player gets collided. So we're going to write here another function which is for player and enemy. So let's say function player enemy collision, and it will be of same like a contact A with a sk sprite node, and contact B of sk sprite node. Then inside this, what I'm going to write here is the same logic, like let's copy this and paste it, and here we are not going to update the score or anything else, just remove the scores, all the stuff. And here the enemy name, when it collides with the player name, copy this and paste it over here. What should happen here is I'm making this is alive to false, which means it will know that the game, I want to know that the game is over. So in order to do that, it's a bool, it's a bool function which says the game is over. So is alive, I set it as false, but when we start the game in the initial stage, is alive will be of true kind. Then I'm going to write a game over logic, to be honest. So func game over logic, and this is of kind main label. I'm going to change main label will be of game start, when the game started the first, and I'm going to change the text font size as 60, and the main label dot text will be equal to showing that the game is over. Alright, and I'm going to initiate this over here like a game over logic, same for this as well, when both conditions. Why I've written both condition over here, like you may be wondering, the same name, same B here. Actually, I'm given here the first body contact is enemy and the second body is of projectile. On the other hand as well, first body is projectile and the second one is enemy. In both cases, we are sending the same condition, like this should happen. Whatever, if they collide each other, this should happen. That's what it means. And after this function, I'm going to write here an animation which I need to bring from extra. So let's say func spawn collision. You can just leave it like this, but when it collides, I want to show an animation that it collides like a spark in the other sense. So in order to bring that, so spawn explosion will be of body. Actually, this is nothing but this is for the sprite node to know the location of which position this collision can happen. And say, before we go in here inside, let's do one more thing inside this. Here we have written enemy projectile collision. Now I need to write here. The thing is, there's a player enemy collision, which means the player enemy collision with a contact body, first body dot node as SKSpriteNode, and the contact B of second body dot node as SKSpriteNode. Here you go. And at this part, I'm going to bring here a collision when the body, when the trigger is hit on the enemy. So that's what I'm going to write over here. This is for collision part, and first of all, I'm going to do let explosion emitter path will be equal to bundle dot main dot path, and this will be of resource. It's of a string kind, and this will be of a string kind which type of the file which we want to bring here. And then explosion will be equal to an S key archiver dot on archiver archive object, and it will be of with file. This is of the explosion emitter path, and as a string will be of as kind sk emitter node. It's a kind like an archived object with a file type sk on archive. Then I'm going to write here is an archive object. Key has no member on archive object. We'll take a look later on. Let's come back to the explosion dot position will be equal to cg point, and here I'm going to write here x with body 10 dot position dot x, and y will be of body 10 dot position dot y. Then I'm going to write explosion dot z position will be equal to 1, then explosion dot target node will be equal to self of itself, then self dot add child. I'm going to write this explosion there. If let wait after the explosion, I want to remove that, so let's say xk action dot wait, so not wrap, should be wait for duration of 0.5, and then let remove after this explosion will be equal to xk action of dot run. Inside this explosion I'm going to remove from superview parent Then at last self dot run with the ASCII action and db of a sequence point. Inside this action, what I'm bringing here is a wait and remove explosion. Yeah, it should be in a skid archive and as a keyed an archiver. Yep, that's gone. So we have written the explosion, and then what I'm going to do next here is I'm going to initiate all of them inside my Vedit load, and let's check what it does so far. We'll go to Vedit more. Yeah, and from here I'm going to initiate all of them. Let's spawn main label, then spawn score label. Then I need to bring the fire projectile file, then timer spawn enemies, then I need to bring the timer spawn star. Actually we didn't set the image, I think so. Timer spawn this, spawn stars. uh, yeah, we will run and check what it does. We'll be checking what we have done so far. Let's run and see and make changes according to that. So it's all about almost we are 80% complete of this game. We just initiated all the stuffs, and the next thing what we need to do is the spark and all these stuffs, and we need to initiate the stars and with another balls as well. Then I need to initiate the score. Screen is a little bit bigger, balls come right. Oh man, it's very fast. We will try some text. Here we will try some changes. What happens if they collide? Alright, so let's stop this. And so in this episode we have covered a lot of sections about the enemies, initiating the enemies, player, stars, and all these things. In the next episode, what we're gonna check is we're gonna initiate this explosion, spawn explosion inside that after collision, and also the screens get updated, which means that the game will over and it will initiate on the screen which is with the title of the long screen like. And then also we need to give some animations to the stars as well with the star timings, and also at the end seems to be the score comes on the bottom of the frame, and also the game status label is not showing as well. So we will fix all those in the next episode, so stay tuned. So that's all in this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.